out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels lemons, just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just hold me.
All right, everybody, and welcome to the Wicked Sim Racing League. My name is James Rouse, and with me in the booth is Emily Urias. Emily, give me one moment. And how are you doing today, Emily?
Not too bad. I mean, beautiful day here looking at, at the track. It's a nice day out.
Yeah, here in beautiful Southern California with Auto Club, we got a really good race for you guys. We got the 2 mile oval here in Fontana, high altitude. A lot of cool stuff around to see if you're in the area for Wicked Sim Racing. 68 degrees, but the track temperature is 86. I know you said that you have worked and raced this track in the next gens. How much is that temperature being low going to help these drivers out?
It really just depends. Mostly, the lowest the track is, the better you want to run. But from experience, running the high line and later option, once those tires work in and starting getting heat in them, that high line is where they want to be.
Yeah, definitely. As we saw it all over the track, and when we seen it for all the leagues that have started so far, that high line really working itself in. As Brock Salvati in here getting some extra laps down. Chris Hubka, he's on his second lap. But so far, as we get this up for you, you can see kind of the best times we've got down for qualifying. Chris Hubka doing his second stint. Alonso Chicano is in first place. Brock Salvati's running second right now, and then Dakota Knoll in third. So looking at these times, Emily, what are you thinking as far as just how close and how closely these drivers are racing?
Oh, just from what I've seen at the times, obviously it's gonna be different in the race, but from what I'm seeing is it's gonna be really close, packed racing, and that's what we love to see here.
Definitely. It's going to be a show for you guys at home. I know I am excited to see it as we see those qualifying times up there with only 13 drivers taking it right now. It seems like everybody else is just going to kind of hang out as we got 2 minutes left in the session. The Wicked Sim Racing starting last week at Daytona. Now heading to Auto Club. You know, you get that experience at Daytona where you just go out and run it wide open, and then you come to Auto Club where you really got to be careful because you can take it wide open on fresh tires. Am I wrong?
No, you're actually not wrong. But once those tires do get warmed up, it's really throttle control of what line you can keep on running and keep that groove going. Once you get out of that, it's going to be hard to get back in that groove.
Yeah, definitely. And especially once this race gets going, we've heard about all the debris, the marbles, that rubber, all those pebbles that come off the tire naturally and head to the high line with that inertia. If you get too high, you're going to get in those pebbles and you're not really going to have a good time. Lose traction here is not great because this wall will suck you in just like everywhere else. So, folks, if you are watching in the chat, we appreciate the heck out of you. Be sure and let us know who you're trying to follow, why you're here. We definitely want to know all that as we see Noah Owens trying to get some laps in. I don't think he's going to. But shout out your driver. Let us know why you're here, who you got to win. I know Alonso Chicano is looking really good from when he, I believe, won the race last week at Daytona. I want to be sure here. I'm trying to get a points graphic up, but I'm not seeing one. But definitely a good race last time. You can check the replay here at Esports
Yes.
Broadcasting Network.
You are correct. He did win that last race at Daytona.
Yeah, I believe I remember hearing some about him as Aaron Brown getting in there just barely with a blazing first lap, 41.16. 3 drivers tied for that time. So, folks, we're about to get ready. Everybody's going to be gridding up here shortly in the pits at Auto Club. Nothing left to do, folks. Stand up, get excited. These drivers are going to be putting on a show for you tonight. I know I am ready for it. As Alonso is getting ready, we're going to go ahead and get the grid up for you. Of course, in P1 with the pole position, Alonso Chicano. Brock Salvati going to be on his outside. Then we got Dakota Knoll in the 55 starting row 2, row outside Aaron Brown. Row 3 is going to be Cameron Caldwell and Alexander Kerfin. Then we got DJ Daniel and Brock Whitehead. Row 5, Jeremy Richard and Chris Wheeler, and I believe you got the rest of them, Emily.
Yes, sir. And going into row, I believe 6, if I'm correct.
Yes.
We got Noah Owens in the 88 for what motorsports?
88 is going to be in Blue Motorsports.
Blue Motorsports. Sorry about that. Then we got Joseph Madden in the number 34, rounding out your top 6. Then we got your 7th row, Jamie Richard in the 98, then Chris Wheeler in the 38 for Blue Motorsports as well. Then we got in your row 8, Noah Owens, 80 in your 88. Then continuing to that row 8 is going to be Joseph Madigan.
Yep.
Then going into row 9, we got Stephen Ayers Jr. in the number 62, following Chris Hupka in the 36. Now following your row 10, Mike Sabat. I don't want to butcher that. Can you help me with that, sir?
Sobanivsky.
Sobaniski. Mike Sobaniski in the number 22, following Charles Whitehead in the number 8. Now moving on to row 13, Eddie Morris in the number 96, and in that row, Ryan Sizemore in the number 3. Then following it out is Robert Derrick in the 19th position and with the number 13.
Yeah, and something to note here as we get done with that grid, they are about to let these drivers get rolling here. Not a single Toyota in the field. So they've got the command to start their engines. They're going to be rolling here shortly as they are extending the grid for just a short period. But while they're stopped here, it's an overcast day. If we take another look at the weather, overcast day, that's really going to help these guys out. High humidity, however, but it's cloudy, 82-degree track temperature, and that's just absolutely crucial, folks, when you see these guys get out here. So let's, while we're here, why don't we go ahead and talk to our Alonso Chicano, our pole sitter, once they do get them rolling here. I believe they're actually doing a driver's meeting. As Emily, if you want to go into that driver's meeting, see if anything's important being said, I will stay here and talk a little bit about the points as we can find them.
Yes, sir, and I'll be right back with you guys.
And then Mary Ainley, I'm sorry about that name, Chicano, already at number 1, giving a little preview of the race as I expected. Yeah, going to try and translate that win over at Daytona to another one here at Auto Club. You know, the momentum's so important, especially if you can do it with skill. Chicano was up front pretty much the whole time last week. But this week, I really like Brock Salvati. He's another one in that 97 machine that can really do it. And we talked about Alexander Kerfin, another one who did not have the best night at Daytona. He's going to be able to come through here and do that. So while we're waiting for them, folks, just stick around. We are going to be going to a quick ad break, and I will bring us back right when we are ready to go.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Oh, they're wrecking! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the left coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
So there you have it, folks. Still got our drivers meeting going on, but it looks like we've got the green to keep moving. They're going to let that gorgeous pace car of the Ford Mustang GT get out there. Love to see that as we are rolling. You saw it in the ad, guys. We do have a lot of stuff going on here at SRM. We just launched our store. You can head that out and with our website, simracingmedia.com. Love to be able to do that for you guys. So gonna be gridding one lap. Not gonna have enough time to grab Alonso. We do. Alonso, pole sitter, man. We don't have much time, but tell us about the blazing lap and what you expect to see here at Auto Club.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a really loose setup here today, and that lap was all about just really pushing it, but trying to be as stable as possible. So I'm expecting we're gonna have some like cautions type situation, just because these cars are so loose on fresh tires. So I'm expecting, you know, if the caution comes out, then and people get on fresh sets, then we might have another caution coming out soon after that.
Definitely. Well, I'll let you go real quick. Which team should I send you to?
Radius, please.
That was Alonso Chicano with Radius Racing. Did I send him to the right place, Emily?
Yes, sir, you did.
There we go. So you heard him. He said it's going to be a little bit loose here today, at least until first. But get ready, folks. Barry has the green flag in his hand. He is going to wave. We are racing, ladies and gentlemen. Already seeing it all the way back. Everybody kind of spreading out here. Alonso Chicano doing the best that he can to try and block the momentum of both lines. Seems like everybody made it through relatively damage-free for the most part. Alonso Chicano, Cameron Caldwell, Aaron Brown working on the bottom by himself. Looking at a little slide job action there with the 55, Dakota Nolan 5th, Alexander Kerfin in 4th. But we do have a yellow. It looks like Chris Wheeler getting out of shape. Like I said, didn't take long here. Wicked, we have one fast repair, so Chris Wheeler unfortunately going to have to take that truck to the hauler, hop into the backup machine.
Yeah, man, just looking for that replay, it just looked like he just went in there way too hard and just couldn't get control of that car again. And I mean, we see that a lot with these new cars out here. I mean, those Gen 6 were more forgiving, but these cars, they are a handful.
Oh, somebody getting involved at the very end. I think that was Mike Zabinski, or Sobinavisky. We call him Mike S from now on until I can confirm that with them. Feel bad, Mike.
Yeah, man, looks like he's going to have to take that back to the hauler and get that new car off of it and go back out there and try to gain spots back.
As we're going to take a look at that again from the view of Mike. Slowing down to the turn there. There's going to be a race car to the face. Nothing you can do about that.
I mean, at that point, he was just along with the ride.
So now we are going to be taking it pit side, lap 4 of 100. Couple drivers deciding to come in. Of course, Mike S. Chris Wheeler got a brand new car. Like to see that. Lucky for him, but now he's got to be careful. You know, Emily, if you're that guy and you get in the incident right out of the gate, what do you? I mean, do you race the race differently from this point on?
I mean, 100%. I would take it slow than last 15 laps. Start pushing it, but still being cautious as you don't got that fast repair in that back pocket just in case if you get loose again. So it's just going to be really who possibly have that last fast repair that could help them in the long run.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just gotta take it easy. 38 knows from here on out, hey, I don't got another one. I don't have another backup. So definitely a little bit of Code Brown moment. Got to be careful coming into this. Got to be careful moving forward. The same thing with Mike Sabinski. I think, yeah, it looks like he took the free car as well. So maybe didn't have it unchecked. Maybe he had more damage than we thought. But up front still, Alonso Chicano, Cameron Caldwell, Aaron Brown, and Alexander Kerfin. Dakota Knoll in 5th, Brock Whitehead in 6th, Brock Salvati in 7th, DJ Daniel 8th, Jeremy Richmond in 9th, and Noah Owens rounds out the top 10. So we already saw it. We already saw the little bit of crossover action we're going to see here. That's not going to last forever.
No, and with this track, it's just once we get on that long run, it's going to be who saved those tires the most and what their pit strategy is as we do have 100 laps here. So just going to make it interesting now here to see. So I believe, if you correct me wrong, what is their fuel mileage they have out here?
Let me get set up here. I'm unsure. Don't really know the setup as far as that's concerned. I will find out for you and let you know.
Looks like 65% fuel.
Yeah, so 65% fuel. That means they're probably going to be coming in maybe 2 or 3 stops this race, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that sounds about right. And I mean, they also have 4 tires, so roughly, I think, taking them at lap 25, the latest.
Yeah, it definitely is. They're going to get him rolling again, stacked up door to door. Green flag is out. Alonso Chicano gets beat to the line by Aaron Brown. That's got to be getting looked at, as they did both. It might have been a jump there by the 95. I'm not sure. Going to have to rewatch that. But Alexander Kerfin going to follow the outside line around in the 99. 12 of Cameron Caldwell. Alonso does have the advantage. Gets a huge runoff. Crossover by the 95. Aaron Brown on the inside now as Cameron Caldwell in the 12 comes up on Brock Whitehead. I don't know if he's going to be able to pull that off the entire race, as we see him 3 wide, all stacked up. It seems to be the middle is no man's land.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're honestly where you want to be at is that top line. That bottom line is if you want to try to make that pass and do that slide job, but you have to hit your marks and get that slide job done perfectly, else you're just gonna slip in and slide out there.
Oh, as we see slipping inside and by the 12, Cameron Caldwell getting it a little bent out of shape. He's gonna come right back in, but the Chevys have it. Alexander Kerfin, one of those who did really well last season or last race at Daytona, unfortunately was unable to make anything happen. He's gonna let Alonso and Aaron battle it out behind him, as DJ Daniels kind of watching. But look at Brock Whitehead in the 31. Fastest lap of the session goes to him after that. And look at what we're seeing. We're seeing everybody kind of fan out. Oh, 31 gets it bent out of shape. You got to be real careful with these cars.
Looks like we also have another car in the wall back there.
Looks to be Mike Sabinski possibly, but what a save by, was that Brock Whitehead? Folks, if you've driven this car, you know that these cars do not save well. They have so much downforce. If you put the wheel the wrong way, like you would be saving the Gen 6, you're in the wall. So that was an absolutely fantastic save by Whitehead. Let's go ahead.
And I believe that car that we saw back there that was in the wall was Brock Salvati, if that's how I say it.
I believe you are correct.
So he does now got some damage to that right front, so it really depends on if you have engine damage and, you know, how much draft you're just losing from the people.
So let's take a look at this. I want to see the save by Whitehead. I think I've got it pulled up here. Take a look at this wheeling. Sideways. Going to be a little bit after this, coming into turn 3. as he's up in the marbles. That's the problem we're going to see all night. Gets it a little bit out of shape on throttle. And I mean, you saw how that looked on the telly, and then right there, just because I was following the wrong person. Here we go. Let's try that one more time.
And can I just mention, ooh, yeah, I mean, he just got loose into those marbles, and he did a really good job of saving that car and keeping it out of that wall. So I mean, you know, especially with these cars, is once you get that sideways, sometimes it just goes straight back into that outside wall.
Yeah, the downforce it gives and it takes away. Once it catches grip, it's over with. So the 25 and the 99 now battling for the lead, Alonso and Alexander. As that top line is getting really, really slick. That's what Alonso's finding out there. But he gets that huge run off of 4. Going back here, door to door out of 3 and 4. Dakota Knoll, Noah Owens, Joseph Madigan, and Brock Whitehead trying to make his way back up to the front after his save.
And can I say they're about a second and a half off of the top 2 cars right now, which is a pretty sizable gap. But it just can also say is people back there might be saving their tires for this long run.
Yeah, it's a long run. You're gonna have to pit again if you can save. That would definitely, help you out. But these guys up front are putting down blazing speeds. Cameron Caldwell still puts down his fastest sector of the race. Dakota Knoll using that draft in these machines to really make something happen. Really put down some fast, consistent laps.
And can I say some of these cars out here aren't really losing speed, as we just had somebody ran the fastest lap of this race. Cameron Caldwell with the 41.040. Which, I mean, that's pretty good for how many laps they have on these tires so far, if I say so myself.
Yeah, it is, and we just saw it just went about a tenth slower. Of course, that was Cameron Caldwell there in the 12 machine. That's what you got to do. You got to get in here. You got to try and move around the track, find out where your car is fastest right there, as we already have car down pit road, and then they're about to catch lap traffic. So Alexander and Alonso have been side by side this whole race. Behind them, DJ Daniel and Cameron Caldwell side by side, and we're about to throw a lap car in the mix. So don't look away, folks. It's exciting here, as we got a lot of folks watching. Be sure to like the stream for us. That helps us out, as well as shout out your favorite driver. I like to get a little bit more screen time for those drivers that people are here watching for.
So ooh, we have a car that spun out on the backstretch. Exiting turn 2, which is the number 8 car.
He's on the infield. I don't think they're going to get a caution for that unless he enters up. Got that silver bullet bouncing. He is going to get back up to the racing surface, but no caution. He's going to go a lap down.
Yeah, but he did do a really good job of saving that car and keeping off that inside and outside walls.
We take a look at the replay what happened to Charles Whitehead. The good old 360 there. So, Alonso, he brought it out. I mean, he said it when we first started. It's going to be hard to hold this car as we go right to Alonso Chicanos. That car is canted sideways. He is loose.
Oh yeah, I mean, looking at from all of these cars, those cars are at least going sideways through all of those turns. So they're at that, fine line where there still has traction, but then, ooh, the number 8 car just spun out and took out.
Oh, still wrecking
cars.
Steven Ayers, the 13 of Robert Zachary, Chris Hubka, and that Hubka Realtor 36. Involved. What was going on there? Let's take a look.
Yeah, it just looks like that A car got loose again.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Let's see what Chris Hupka saw. Just almost gets into able to miss that.
And that's gonna have to make him use that fast repair as well, with seeing that engine smoking like that.
Yeah, the biggest thing you can do is get to the pit road. You don't want to try and blow up your engine. You know you've got a free car waiting for you. The crew's got it all set up. Just very unfortunate for all these drivers after Charles Whitehead gets it sideways.
Looks like everybody. Oop, no. It looks like it was a fake for almost everybody going down pit road. So they are getting to that time where, you know, they could take tires to be faster, or they could just chill out here and hope another caution comes out.
Yeah, and you see Noah Owens comes down pit road. Brock Salvati comes down. He's got some damage he's got to take care of. Steven Ayers looks like he is coming out. Chris Hubka getting a brand new car. Zachary, Derek, and Charles Whitehead. Yep, getting a brand new car as well. Ryan Sizemore has called it a day, as well as Aaron Brown. So unfortunate for them. They've put it on the hauler, but Alexander Kerfin now leading him around. I believe we do have stage breaks. If you could check that for me, Emily, as I'm working through the line here.
Yes, let me go double check that for you.
Alexander Kerfin in the 99 going to be starting off up 5 positions from the start. Alonso Chicano hasn't been too far away from the lead. He's now in second, on the beyond outside of the restart. DJ Daniel in third. Dakota Knoll in fourth, and Joseph Madigan in fifth. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a really good race going for you. If you would, hit that like button for us. Helps get this race out in front of more viewers. YouTube sees, hey, if these guys like it, everyone else will as well. So appreciate that from you guys here at Sim Racing Media, Esports Broadcasting Network as well.
Looking at it, I do not see any notes about it having any stage breaks.
Very interesting. I think last week we did, but they've been very busy this week. Usually at 100 laps they have stages at 25 and 50, but nothing official coming out from NASCAR. So we'll find out for you folks if they come in at 25. That's what we know.
Can I say that 99 is a beautiful car running that Serenity Sun Tanning paint.
That's the dark horses up front behind him, though. DJ Daniels in stark contrast. He says, hi, Dad, from Bassett, Virginia. The first Ford in the top 5. Dakota Knoll looking pretty good in the blue machine. Joseph Madigan up 7 positions. Got the camo ride. I was looking at that ride earlier. It looks really, really interesting. That marine camo. Sergeant Britt Marine Specialties. Like to see those reps. Cameron Caldwell. Looks like a Rainbow Warrior throwback D2 graphics machine. So pace car is off. Or going off. Lights are off, is what I mean.
We
Why
do
don't you
have
call
2
this one?
Fords in the top 5s. So, yeah, and the pace car goes off with Alexander leading the field to the green, and they're gonna get ready. And there they go, with Alexander getting a really good lead on Alonso and going up to that high line. I mean, you can tell that these guys are loving that mid to high line, because that you see that's where they go. So it's just gonna be interesting to see where everybody wants to go at the end of their race.
Yeah, you know, low banking here at Auto Club, but the wide track really changes things. You can get around so much faster on the bottom, but with that low banking all the way around the track, that top line gets such a huge run coming almost downhill. As Chicano has made his way up, getting a little bit loose, as that's what we're going to see. DJ Daniel feeling a little bit left out as the 34 Sergeant Grit in the wall a little bit, but tucked in very nicely to DJ. Almost bump drafting here at Auto Club at lap 22 of 100. Behind them, 3 wide again.
Man, these guys are just making it interesting for us, and that's what we love to see out here, seeing everybody side by side, action packed, and it's just amazing to see that out here.
As we see the 88 GTR machine looking like it's coming in. I think the safe bet is down low. That's what we're seeing from everybody. Go down low, try and get up and bump the momentum. That's where we're seeing all the passes being made, but the fast line is up top. What do? I mean, if the car's loose, it doesn't seem to be tightening up. It seems to be doing the opposite, getting harder to control as the 23 and the 55 do a tandem drift there, like they're watching the Formula One qualifiers that are live right now. I mean, what do you do? What do you do if the car doesn't tighten up and you're still losing that right rear as bad as you are?
I mean, I guess you can just start working down lower. I mean, when I ran it, it was nighttime, so I guess it is a little bit different than what they're running now. But, I mean, if this track does cool off even a little bit more, I mean, they can still run a high line, but mid to high line is where you want to run for the long run to save the most of your tires. But lower line is really good for passing. So, it's really what they think works, and when they'll get the next caution to take those new set of tires if they burnt them up.
Yeah, you know, and that's a good point that you bring up. And these guys are battling, but they've got so much time. There's no reason to go out there and blow up the car and hurt it. Even though you got a backup in your back pocket, ideally, you want to take that machine home untouched so you can use it next week. But there we see the 23 kind of diving down a little bit deeper in the turn, getting stuck down low because that momentum is just so high up front. Alexander Kirkman pulling a little bit of a block on Joseph Madigan. I don't know how long he is going to take that. As Cameron Caldwell coming up right on the bottom, like you said. Heck of a run through the turns, but you'll just see it stall out so badly here on the straightaway.
Yeah, and that's the problem, is if you don't get tucked in there from trying to run that bottom line, you'll fall back to that outside lane that gets that insanely huge run going off the turns.
Yeah, and you can't do it too late either, right? Because then you're going way slower than the guy you're trying to block, and you'll get Logano'd all the way into the inside fence. As the 855 of Knoll working there.
And a caution comes out.
So that's
looks
going to
like
be...
we have a stage.
Yep, you are correct. So that's going to be our stage break. Get those results to you once everybody gets lined out, but I believe Alonso Chicano is going to be your stage leader. So we're going to go on board with him. Turn it up while we wait for them to get their pit cycles through. And we'll be right back. All right, folks, we are back. Everybody in the top 13 deciding to come down pit road. Robert, Zachary, Derek going to be the lap car. He's going to take this opportunity to get around and get his lap back. He is going to be the lucky dog. I think he's running around. Chris Hupka going to be getting a wave around with Stephen Ayers, Charles Whitehead, and so we're going to have everybody on the lead lap except Charles Whitehead, who did have to go a couple laps down for that incident.
And I'm going to get our stage winner and leader in here for us to interview. Does that sound good to you?
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Alright, now we got Alonso in here. What are you thinking about that stage win? Are you feeling good? What are you feeling? How's the car?
Oh yeah, I'm feeling good, man. This is so much fun. I love this car and track combo is great, and I mean people are complaining about the setup. It's hard to drive, but I'm having a blast right now. Racing Alex here for the lead has been just so much fun.
I know, and personally I can see that you have a really fast car out there. To meet between that fine line of having traction and between those marbles.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's all about trying to stay out of like those black grooves too. I mean, you hit those and it just turns you around. So like in the corners, you really just gotta pick a lane and keep it straight. Because if the second you touch one of these black stripes, man, you're good. That car's gonna be wanting to go sideways.
How's your team feeling for this race so far? With I believe we're 29 laps in so far. How are you guys feeling?
Yeah, we're feeling good. I feel like we have a really good long run car. Obviously Alex is gonna compete. So is Cameron and Dakota. I feel like Cam is he has something that he hasn't shown yet, so he's gonna be one to look out for. He's always fast in long runs, but I mean Alex, he's shown how fast he is, and so it's definitely going to be interesting. But I feel pretty confident with what we got right now.
Yeah, man. All of you guys out there have pretty fast cars. I'm gonna send it off to James here to get ready for us to go green.
Appreciate
Alrighty,
you, Alonso. Long time no speak.
Yep.
All right, that was Alonso Chicano getting ready to take the green flag. Noah Owens, the boss here, owner-driver of Blue Motorsports, going to be getting the flag. Looks like he did not take fuel-only stop right there, but it was his second stop. We'll see what that's going to do for him. As the green flag is out, here he goes. Big checkup on the outside line. Everybody checking up. That was wild. Eddie Morris not getting the start that he wanted in the 96 machine. Got to let the leader hit first, and that's what we saw. Alonso Chicano using that bottom line to his advantage. He's going to be coming up in front of the 96 if he can clear. No dice, but the 99 has a 96 all up in his mirror.
I mean, for the 88 out there, I feel like he has his own game going out there. Probably saving tires the most he can. Oops, and he loses it there coming out of turn 4. But looks like he's coming down pit road.
Yeah, Noah Owens going to have to bring it down pit road. I think the car kind of pointed itself in that direction, and he took the car's lead. He said, you know what, okay, I'll come down, get you some tires. Hopefully, he's probably going to go a lap down here, but, it is what it is. Go a lap down, try and get that lucky dog. He's going to be the only car a lap down besides Charles Whitehead, so he knows he's going to get that lucky dog as long as he can stay clean.
Oh no, he did not grab any tires. He just drove through it.
All right. Just coming down to be safe. As everybody else, Joseph Madigan put down the fastest lap of the session now with a 41.03. Everybody just trying to keep doing what they're doing. I mean, we have seen so much racing every single lap. It's hard to keep track. So, folks, if you want to see somebody specific, if you're here to watch fan of all the drivers, be sure and let us know in the chat so we can watch them at just about everybody's racing, folks.
And can I say, Alonso's working that outside line. I feel like he's just really comfortable with working that line. I mean, it's working out for them. He's still in the top 2. So if he keeps that, gets that line, he's going to be up there.
As we got a shout out for Caldwell, Kano, Kerfman, Kerfan, and Knoll, all having a ridiculous race. And all those drivers in the top 6, so good for them. Is Chris Hubka having issues?
And it brings out the caution, I believe.
What was happening there? As we see the 31 in the back. In your background, you got Brock Whitehead involved. Let's take a look.
Looks like the 31 brought out that caution.
You are correct. Gets out there, 98 touches him. Everyone else trying to get through.
Man, that car is torn up.
That it is. Chris Hubka just getting the back of it. It's the silver bullet, but good job by the 36, able to get it woed down and not into the wall.
Hopefully these guys still have that fast repair, because it looks like a lot of them got some damage. I mean, that 31, hopefully is that fast repair in his back pocket so he can get back out there and race.
Yeah. Definitely. As folks, that's going to be a caution. We're going to go ahead and run a quick ad break. Stick around for some more racing action here. As we're going to see Jeremy Richmond, Chris Wheeler, Mike Sobanowski, Chris Hupka, and Steven Ayers deciding to come down. Stick around. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with one to go. Joseph Madigan gonna be leading them around for this restart.
In the lead. Don't want to be that person, but kind of rooting for Ford out here, guys.
Yeah, Joseph Madigan up 11 positions to be in that place where he is. We do have somebody came down for a black flag because of the jump restart. I'm not sure whether it was that first restart that we saw, or if it was surely not Noah Owens, but we shall see here. As Joseph Madigan going to lead him around. Green flag coming out. Alonso Chicano giving him definitely enough room as Alexander Kerfin unable to get locked up to that bumper like you want to, Emily.
I know. Just interesting to see how these play out. Again, he's running that high side, which, from what we've seen, he feels really comfortable running that high line is what you want to have. You want to be really comfortable with what line you're running and not run something new where you're like, oh, what am I doing with this line, you know? If it's working good, don't fix it, right?
Yeah, and especially whenever it is a place like this where you get used to the tires, you get used to being loose, and then you come in for fresh good years, and then now you got to readjust to the car. You got to readjust to everything, readjust to what you were doing, and it's just something that these guys are thinking about, something you got to look at.
Oh yeah, and I mean, you just can see that huge run. Alonso is getting off of that 34 as he goes side by side to hopefully take that position back from him and lead another lap here.
Yeah, Alonso Chicano has led the majority of the laps that we have raced, but Alexander Kerfin not too far behind. DJ Daniel, Dakota Knoll, all of them pretty lined up. We do have a battle in the back. Brock Salvati trying to make a move on Brock Brighthead. So the Brocks have been battling all throughout the night. Noah Owens, he's got a lap led under his belt. He's got to worry about the same thing. That high line, he's got some smoke in front of him. Somebody getting a little bit loose. They gathered it up. As Alonso Chicano has broke the 40-second barrier.
Ooh, and I mean, that shows you how fast this guy is at this track.
Oh,
he must...
DJ
Ooh.
Daniel coming down pit road, hits the cone.
That's going to tear up that car.
Kerfan coming down. DJ Daniel gets it back up. No issues. They're going to stay green here. Sorry to cut you off, but that takes out a big one. Alexander Kerfan going off track.
Oh, no. I mean, once they go over that grass, it will tear that bottom up of that car. Ooh, just looks like he got loose off that and tapped the 99.
Yeah, loose into the wall. The 99 takes the brunt of it, but both cars able to avert the code brown for now and come back up. Alexander, he's got some work to do.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Looking at the standings right now so far, we have 15 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, almost everybody. Charles Whitehead's 2 laps down. Jeremy Richmond is coming down pit road. He's got a lot of damage to fix. It looks like he's most likely out getting a taco or something as they're working on that car, as he doesn't seem to be making any big moves to come back out on the racetrack.
Yeah,
But
I mean, they still have 60 laps to go here, so really they shouldn't need to push it until, I think, 20 to 15 laps left to go is where that sweet mark is. If you have fresh tires, start pushing then or start dialing it in that car for those last 5 laps.
Yeah, for sure. If everything stays the same from Daytona, folks, which that's the information we're working on. That's our fault. Wasn't able to reach out today, but they're going to be coming in on lap 50 for the stage break. Halfway mark makes sense. Get them in there, and we shall see. Dakota Knoll in the 55 working on Joseph Madigan. Going to try and not focus on the leaders here. Aaron Try that again. Eddie Morris up 12 positions, working on Cameron Caldwell. As you see, just coming up in front of somebody seems to be the move. You got to stop that momentum, otherwise you're going to be stuck there on the bottom using up your stuff.
And can I say, these cars look beautiful. I don't know, but these cars give butterflies in my stomach with how they look, how they run, and just, you know, how much they handle. So you actually have to put some time and effort in these cars to get them handled really good out here.
Yeah, definitely. We got some fireworks back here in the back. DJ Daniel, Alexander Kerfin already got into it once on accident. Alexander trying to make the pass underneath as they're battling for 12th. But yeah, gotta stay in your groove. That's the goal here. Get your progressions through. And also another thing that this is the reason I'm not fast pretty much anywhere. Gotta know how to adjust that brake bias. Isn't that so, Emily?
Oh yeah, at some of these tracks where you do need to put just a tad bit of brake in it, probably shouldn't change, but it might as well for some of you new people out here that, you know, you need to learn. I put it between 55 to 60%, I believe, for these guys, if I'm correct. I think like 57 is a sweet spot for me. But it really just depends on how you think the car handles and how much you want to put brake in it.
Yeah, definitely. As they've absolutely, you gotta, that's one of the things these guys can adjust in the car, if not the only thing, really, is that brake bias. What we're talking about, folks, is, 31, Brock Whitehead, getting it bent out of shape, as we got a good camera on that. Trying to keep that thing down there on the apron. As with these sequential gearbox, it's not a given that you're going to be able to get it going quickly.
Oh yeah, and can I say, the leader has a 3-second gap on second place. I mean, he's just pulling away from him.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting a really good run. He wants all these guys. And when that really happened was when Kerfan and DJ Daniel got into their little kerfuffle. He was able to use that disadvantage. Everybody else kind of had to check up. He was able to get going and get out of there. And now Dakota Knoll, he's got Joseph Madigan there, but if they don't decide to work together, of course, they only got 4 laps. I don't think you're going to make a second lap up on Alonso the way he's working. But if they decide to work together here, they can probably make it a little bit closer. But we're starting to see that disparity. We've got about 20 laps on the tires. Everything's starting to fall off here by about half a second. So everybody's using that high line to their advantage.
Oh yeah, and I mean, literally consistent times from Alonso. I mean, compared to the rest of the people, I mean, there's people running 42.1s out there while he's still running 41.3s. So that just shows how much that outside line can save tires. And depending on what you set your steering ratio to as well, can also help you save those tires for that long run to get those stage points in.
Yeah, for sure. As back in the back, these guys battling for some stage points in 8th place. It's not back in the back. This is top 10, folks. Alexander Kerfan trying to make his way through the field. Back again in the 99 machine. Going to be past Noah Owens for the time being as the 38 gets a little bit squirrely. That thing's able to come back down. Chris Wheeler. The only other battle that's going to be had for stage points is going to be Dakota Knoll, who is keeping Joseph Madigan in the background by breaking up that draft, it looks like.
And can I say, our biggest mover here today is Robert. Up 13 spots in the number 13 car. That must be its lucky number.
For sure. As we're just going to go on board here as they go the final laps. Let's see. Take a look at this is the battle. Joseph Madigan only has 1 lap to get it done with Dakota Knoll. Look at that gorgeous look of that marine camo here with lap 50 in the books.
And I believe once they get everybody across the line, I believe that caution will be thrown, if I'm correct.
Yeah, as you can see, they are not slowing down. I think it's going to be at the conclusion, up lap 50, because they only have 49 laps to do it. So at the conclusion of lap 50, start of lap 51, once they get everybody by, Dakota Knoll has held off Joseph Madigan, but Eddie Morris has had his lot cast. Robert Zachary Derrick getting by him, up 14 positions so far. Because this is what Alexander needed. If he was going to get what happened to him and what was going to happen, he wanted to do it right before a stage break.
And there's the caution being thrown at lap 51 out of 100. And I say, how many stage breaks do we have? Do we only have 2 or 3?
2 stage breaks. So from here, it's going to be a straight-up race. We know they can make it at least 27 laps. Probably going to be 1 pit stop there in the beginning. We're going to talk to Alexander Kerfan after this break. This is actually breaking news, folks. We're going to go to our ads. Appreciate one of our sponsors, our brand new sponsor here. I'll just let the ad do the work. So there you go, folks. Not too long, I promise you. Jones Racing Setups. We got, who was the green car? That was Jeremy Richmond, who decided he did not want to come down pit road with everybody else. He's going to try and get a lap or 2 back there. But yeah, Jones Racing Setup Shops, we appreciate the heck out of them. They've been doing glad to see that they could come on board with us. As we got a little bit smaller, only oval setups they've got right now, but they are a growing team. Their stuff is fast. They've got a Road to Pro win under their belt that just happened yesterday. So congratulations to the Jones Racing Setup guys. You can check them out, jonesracingsetups.com. Everybody's deciding to come in right now. Alexander Kerfan is out. If you want to bring him down, actually I'll grab him. And
when do you guys see him?
go J.A.R. Alexander's James in the booth. You got us.
Yeah, how's it going?
It's going good. So, able to come back from the accidental sideswipe there and get some stage points. How was that car handling?
Surprisingly, it's handling pretty good. I feel like I'm getting through the corners still as good as I was. Might be hurting the straight line speed. It kind of looks like I have a hood scoop now. But for the most part, yeah, it's handling pretty nice.
Yeah, definitely. I know in these fixed setups, sometimes you can get bumped just right and make it a little bit faster. So just congratulations on getting back up into the top 10 and getting those stage breaks. But before that, you were up there with Alonso, just like at Daytona. What was it like up there, and how do you have to handle this thing throwing through the corner?
I was really clean racing with Alonso. That was a lot of fun. I feel like the High Line has the momentum here. Really fast runs up there. Every time I felt like I couldn't maintain a lot of speed on the bottom of Alonso, unless I pulled off a pretty risky slide job. But yeah, I think passes need to be done on the High Line this race.
Definitely. Well, Alexander, I'll let you get back to JKR, correct?
Yep, thank you.
Yes, sir, and hopefully we talk to you at the end of the race.
Yeah, for sure.
There was Alexander Kerfan recovering from his incident earlier with DJ Daniel, unfortunately getting bent out of shape just at the exact time that car was going down. So Alonso able to come down pit road. Everybody makes it pretty well except Chris Wheeler. Looks like he took right sides only. He's going to be out in 5th place. So Emily, I'll let you call it out as we're about to go green. We might have lost Emily there, but green flag is out. Alonso Chicano getting a good push from Joseph Madigan. That's what you need to see, folks. But up top, the two right sides only of Cameron Caldwell looking at fixing a little bit of alignment in that car. We're going to go ahead and turn it up as they're going to go 3 wide, 4 wide all the way through.
Ooh, and I believe I saw somebody spinning out.
Oh, that was the 96. Oh, what a great shot that was. But yeah, the 96 unfortunately getting bit out of shape. That's Eddie Morris. Gonna be hoping for a caution here. But folks, turn it up. All right, folks, while we were away, the Silver Bullet getting it bent out of shape with Noah Owens. Let's see what went wrong on the replay. Oh, I stand corrected. I called out Charles Whitehead for no good reason there, so I appreciate, or not appreciate, I apologize to the Silver Bullet at Miller Lite number 8 machine. So Noah Owens getting it, looks like he gets it bent out of shape all on his own. Luckily, no one else involved in that.
Yeah, some of these guys out here are having a rough night, but hopefully they can, you know, tune their car up just a tad more, you know, and get it out there and try to get in that top 5.
As hopefully we can get a little bit better angle on it. Oh, looks like he was correcting from the 97, so 2 apologies. I owe the 88 and Charles Whitehead. So the 97, Brock Salvati is what started that. Gets bent out of shape just enough to get into Noah Owens. Luckily, I don't think there's too much damage on the 88 machine. Hopefully, I think he's going to be able to keep that thing going. No fast repair needed. Still a little bit crumpled on that GTR graphic there on the right rear, but caution, lap 58. So 40 more laps to go, folks.
I'm gonna be honest with him. I mean, I wouldn't take a faster car either. I would go out there, see how much power, if I'm down any from that. Which, looking like it, he shouldn't be. But with these cars, they're so touchy, sometimes even just a little fender damage can give you a lot of engine damage. So it really depends on how hard you got hit.
Yeah, and you know, say what you want about the next gen cars, guys. I do this for a living. Talk about the cars, talk about how they're handling in iRacing, and watching the real stuff. These guys, these cars can take a beating. You know, the next gen composite bodies. They went to the kind of a unibody situation. They can take these hits and keep on rolling, but the interior, those independent rear suspension, that upgraded rack and pinion steering, those can't take as many hits. So if you get doored like that, we saw Bubba Wallace lose a tire because of contact at Coda. You really got to be careful with the interior of these cars, because the car might look good, it might look like it's ready to rock, and then the next thing you know, your tire passes you on the right.
And that's something we never want to see out here on the track, as that just is a race ender.
Yeah, and your pit crew's looking at getting fined, and crew chief gone for 4 races. It's kind of a big deal, especially here in iRacing. We don't want those virtual fans to get hurt, and it's all about you virtual fans. So be sure you're keeping an eye on there. Is Marie Inielli? I hope I'm saying that correctly. The Caldwell car is doing really great. Cameron Caldwell in the 12 machine. He's, you know, I've seen him come back and forth a couple times, but looks like he is staying up near the front. Dakota Knoll, another name we said. And the 34, Joseph Madigan. He's been in this position. He's inside row 2 right now. He's going to be behind Alonso Chicano as he takes the flag.
Yeah, man, and the pace car lights are off, so we are going green this lap, with Alonso leading it to the green.
Folks, here we go. Gonna get those tires warmed up. Everybody doing a little bit of left and right action. Get the marbles off there. Clean them up. As Alonso's gonna bring him around. Joseph Madigan behind him and the inside line ready to go. A little bit of a stack up there. As here we go, folks. Green flag is out.
And you see them just scrambling, figuring out what line they want to start running now with, I believe, 40 laps to go out of 100 here at Auto Club.
Yeah, and hopefully we're going to have to talk about it. Green flag pit stops. If it happens, how hard is it to get down pit road here at Auto Club?
And when are they going to go? That's the main question. And do they want a short pit? Do they want to, you know, go to almost the very end of the pit? Then it really just be wherever they can go, where they don't go that lap down and can't get it back.
Yeah, because when we saw earlier with 20, 30 laps on the tires, you're not seeing a ton of fall off. These guys are not using as much tire as you would think, especially those guys on the outside as Joseph Madigan tries to make his way up there. Look at Alexander Kerfan, though, getting up with DJ Daniel. These guys absolutely accidentally got into each other. I don't think there's any bad blood there, but they are now back in the same position they were. Skill's going to find its way to the front, Emily.
Oh, yeah. I mean, again, Alonso out there with a 0.3 second gap, just working working out there, getting the job done. And that's what we want to see out there. And, yeah, it should be interesting. I mean, you see a lot of them starting to run that high line and start going midway down. So it's really that mid and high line is where you want to be at this late in the race. So yeah.
Yes, I do want to shout out, of course, if I haven't talked about them yet, Blues Race Designs. They are a sponsor here at the Wicked Sim Racing Cup Series, as well as Eclipse Photography. So Eclipse Photography, real world photography. If you want to get some pictures done, you don't know how good they are. You know, we get spoiled with these phones where You think you're taking a great photo of the family and having memories, but nothing compares to that professional photography you can get. You can get that with Eclipse photography, as well as Blue Race Designs. You know, if you want a paint job, these are the guys to go to. Blues Race Designs, they paint a lot of the machines out here. Take a look at the 88 of Noah Owens. Looks like that machine's painted. All the Blues guys sponsor a team here, but definitely check them out. Check them out on Facebook, all that good stuff. So, folks, lap 65 of 100, and this is the tamest racing we've seen so far.
And can I say, these paints out here on these cars look phenomenal. Congrats to all those painters that did them, making these cars look amazing out here on track, making sure the sponsors are shown, and just, yeah, making these cars look the brightest that they possibly can be.
And I forgot this one last week. I'm not going to forget it again. McConey Setup Shop sponsoring the Wicked Sim Racing Cup Series. I appreciate them getting out there supporting the community of iRacing. So, last one. So, yeah, the setups looking good. They're looking fast. These are fast setups. Some of these guys are having a hard time handling them, but geez, Alonso Chicano is absolutely blowing it out of the water. See how loose he is, and he's still able to put down a 40.82.
Yeah, I mean, again, phenomenal with what these cars can do at the track. With those, you know, independent suspensions makes it a little bit easier for them to get them around, but again, they're still loose, so they still gotta be careful with what they're running so they don't get that back end out there and hit it in that wall.
As we go back, Alexander Kerfan now looking at Brock Whitehead. We're going to say the same notes from everybody, but look at Robert Zachary Derrick. Up 11 positions. As we do have a caution. Looks like that's going to be... Oh, no. Chris Hubka.
And he's had a rough night.
Yeah, he has. Looks like he gets into the wall all on his own. Not sure.
Hopefully he had the fast repair in his pocket.
Yeah, I don't believe so. I think Chris was involved in some stuff earlier. We're going to try and see where that started. Just like gets in the marbles and almost net codes in the wall. I don't think I've ever seen something like that. It's very unfortunate. But yellow flag is going to come out. Chris Hubka staying out there in that Hubka Real Estate 36 machine. Trying to catch the pace car.
I believe if they... I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if they do come down pit road. My opinion, I think it might be a little bit too early because I really don't know. I haven't been out there on the track, so I don't know if they can go that 30 laps of fuel, 30 laps, I believe, on that one tank of fuel. It might be pushing it for them, but we'll see if there's any takers going down pit road.
Yeah, and you know, we saw him make it 37 laps, but there was a ton of cautions when that everybody decided to come down pit road. So you really got to decide here as Alonso Chicano sees that everybody else had already made their decision to come down, so no reason to fake anybody out. Robert Zachary Derrick, the only one staying out.
Oh yeah, and that's going to put Robert up to 18 spots, moving up in, you know, first place. Gonna get a lap led here.
Yeah, starting dead last to be able to get a lap led is good for the morale, but man, if he can get a green flag lap led is a whole nother story. And with the way that we've seen these tires react and how his best time, folks, is about the average, 41.29. The people behind him, the people that he's going to be competing for that are racing off pit road right now, Alonso Chicano, Cameron Caldwell, and there was another 40 in the group, Joseph Madigan, who took, looks like right sides only. They're running 40.99 on their fastest lap, so you got to be careful if you're Robert.
Yeah, and those right sides are the sides that wear out the most, so really the left sides if you want to. I mean, green flag runs, you could do lefts. Then if you need to go in again, you can take rights. It just all depends on how your pit strategy will be. What takes the less time, and how fast you get back out there. As you know, Alonso went down to 4th, but yet again, the 2 people in front of him only took fuel, and 1 car stayed out. So, it'd be interesting to see when Robert will come down pit lane.
Yeah, probably banking on another caution in the back pocket here. As I think the way even Brock Whitehead and Eddie Morris, Chris Hubka might be coming down pit road either to get a little bit of damage fixed or to just top off on fuel, make 100% sure that they are good to go. We'll see when the times come through. I don't mind that strategy. If you're not sure, come down pit road. Get a little splash and go, as I believe that's what Eddie Morris did. He was in for 5 seconds. Brock Whitehead in for 4.3 seconds. So these guys maybe know something we don't, as Robert Zachary leads them around with 1 to go.
Oh yeah, and I mean, really thinking it, 30 laps might be pushing it. So we'll see. I figured 27 laps maybe, with no cautions, maybe a little bit more. So we'll see how this goes, and if, you know, some of them's gonna have to coast it across the finish line and see what position they get. So
yeah, and if you're those guys, you know, you come in on lap 69, nice. Brock Whitehead, Eddie Morris. Brock has been running a good race, but unfortunately has gotten it sideways just in the wrong time. Just like everybody else, everybody's loose. Everybody's loose here, but to get it wrong at the wrong time, bad luck there by the 31. You're running mid-pack, you might as well come back, do everything you can to try and gain an edge.
oh yeah, and I mean, by chance, can you take a look and see who has a fast repair in their pocket and saving it for, you know, last second after we go green here?
Unfortunately, I don't have that ability, but I know up front a lot of these folks do have that fast repair if they need it. Those guys in the back, 31, I do not believe. I think he got involved in something. As the green flag is out here, Robert Zachary Derrick is already showing that he does not have the tire to stick with these guys. He's going to drop to the bottom and let a lot of these folks get through.
And you can just see how much speed that they carry over with those new extra tires. Ooh, and he spins off.
I think that was more of a courtesy getting to the apron to let everyone else by, but it is rough. He's finding out on the infield there on the backstretch. But look at this. About 3 wide behind Alexander Kerfman. 4 rides. Steven Ayers, Brock Salvati, Mike Sobanivsky.
Ooh, big wreck between the 25 and the 88.
Oh no, Alonso Chicano, most laps led, getting into it with Cameron Caldwell. We had a camera on it though, folks.
I think I saw 4 cars get loose in that coming out of turn 4. And Alonso was that one that got loose out there. And I think he does have a fast repair, so that's going to save him out here, as I believe he is crab walking it, possibly.
Yeah, he's got the fast repair. See where this started. If I can get over my other window quick enough. Oh yeah, the 34 and the Alonso get into it.
Ooh, and looks like the 23 net coded into somebody as well.
Not sure where, who else was involved in that, honestly. Cameron Caldwell. I think that was happening a little bit behind everybody. Oh, the 12. It's the 23 DJ gets into the 12.
Yeah, I mean, that was just net code, and that really sucks seeing that out here, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, it looks like a little bit of net code, possibly just avoiding the wreck. Trying to avoid the wreck, comes down, gets into him. Yeah, a little bit of net code. Who is that? That's Noah Owens. Very unfortunate for him. We'll take a look at what he saw.
Can I say, we go back into coming out of turn 3, 2, 4, ooh. Yeah, man, he could not avoid that. Just watching the 23, he actually, I believe, got like about an inch from the car above him, which was really good racing for what I saw.
Take a look if we can. Ooh, yeah, good avoidance there coming across the line. So, all right, folks, another caution. We're gonna go ahead and just step away real quick, just as a little broadcaster's break. We're not gonna hit you with any more ads unless you want us to, but we could like to appreciate Eclipse Photography, of course, for sponsoring this league, as well as Maconi Setup Shops. Appreciate them. And then our sponsor here at Sim Racing Media, Esports Broadcasting Network, JonesRacingSetups.com. Check them out over there. And speaking of Sim Racing Media, we do have a brand shining new website you can check out at simracingmedia.com. There is a shop. We got some real cool merchandise in there. Some of it's just for fun. I run that. I don't take anything seriously, so go in there and take a look at some of our funny shirts. We got iRacing specific stuff. And for that, Emily, let's just step away for a second and relax.
Yeah, and just watch these cars. Get ready to go green.
As we're going to start this green flag under a turn it up, folks. We're not going to leave you alone, but go ahead and crank it up and hear these things spool it up. All right, folks, right when we go to turn it up, that seems to be when all the action happens, as we got 2 incidents to report from pit road. Emily, tell me what you saw. If I got you.
Oh, yep, sorry about that. Yeah, let me go look at it.
I'll talk about the first incident. You focus on Noah's thing. So we saw it. DJ Daniels just gets a little squirrely, unable to make the save. One more look at that. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Oh.
And then the second incident is what you were looking at, correct?
Oh, yeah. It just looks like he was in the solid too much, pushing up and tapped that wall and gotten down into that 12 car. And they both went for a wild ride. And I believe the 88 did already use his fast repair. So, yeah, it's going to be rough to see how they all pan out for this. As how many laps do we have now?
I believe we have less than 20 to go.
Yeah, this is where we start seeing, you know, those, if they're getting tired, if they saved, you know, a set of tires for this last 20 lap shootout. And that's what we'll see, because from what I could tell, lap times have not been changing much after 20 laps.
Yeah, definitely is. We'll take a look at one last time. Just because we got nothing else better to do. Let's talk to Cameron. Look at Cameron Caldwell. It's just very unfortunate. Another 13 involved. Robert, Zachary, Derek. I think that's the second time he's been involved in something. Alonso. Whoa! I want to see that through his point of view. So Alonso's just kind of hanging out back here. Everybody's wrecked in front of him. He's out of it. He's thinking, oh man, you know, I'm clear. I'm good. To go down, and then bam, there's another one. So,
What damage does Alonso have damage by chance?
he shouldn't. If he did use his fast repair.
Nope, he does have a clean car.
Yeah, so he was able to use his fast repair after that first incident. So while we're here, guys, let's go ahead and just go over our yellow flag incidents. Starting with lap 2, Chris Wheeler and Mike Savinsky. Sobanevsky.
I think we should start. I think we should mention it Mike S now until we get that full coverage of how to say that name. Don't you think?
I think you're right. So yeah, Mike S there, unable in the 38. Chris Wheeler involved. Then we go to lap 14. On lap 14, Charles Whitehead bringing out the yellow, I believe. Might have been Chris Hubka. Yep, coming up the track into the 12. That was where Hubka was involved. Then we have Brock Whitehead again, unfortunately there in the 33 machine.
Looks like the pace lights are off of the pace car.
We'll get right back to it. Brock Whitehead, it's his again, 45. Lap 57. Jeremy Richmond, Noah Owens. As we're green, folks. We'll get back to it. Alexander Kerfan has made his way back up to the front of 20 laps to go. Chris Wheeler, Brock Salvati, and Brock Whitehead up there in the top 5. Alonso Chicano taking the high line, trying to get a run 3 wide. Not a lot of room, but a lot of courtesy gets Alonso to the 4th position. Brock Salvati, Eddie Morris having to yield to the faster car on the outside. Now the 96, Eddie Morris is going to try and take what he learned by watching that and make his way to the top.
And can I mention, we're probably going to see Alonso try to push his way back up into first. I mean, we've seen it happen when he's let the most laps here. So I bet we're going to see some action packed between him trying to get past these, you know, first 3 cars.
Definitely is Chris Hubka, another one who's kind of made it back, because we got a car getting a little bit squirrely. That seems to be the 96 of Eddie Morris. Gets into it with the 22 and the 38. for the 98. Eddie Morris had it out of shape from about 10 seconds earlier, and then comes back up the track and gathers two vehicles. Very unfortunate.
And that was a hard impact.
That it was. Mike Sobanevsky's got that machine messed up. I believe he had to use a fast repair, so that might be the end of his day. Hopefully we can talk to him as we go in there. Oof.
Ooh, you can just see that impact shape that 96 car.
Yeah, from the front and the back there, it looks like. So take a look at one more time here.
But I mean, that's what it is when you hit a car going 100+ miles an hour.
Yeah, front impact, and then on the binders, gets it again. Whiplash, he's going to be headed to the Infield Care Center. Luckily, the window net is down on the 22 machine. But I think that's going to be his night. Let's see if we give him a second, and then we'll talk to him. And Blue Motorsports there. With 19 laps to go, not many people deciding to come down pit road, so we've had a caution-filled couple of laps. Alexander Kerfan going to be leading him around. Chris Wheeler there as well. Let's go get Mike in the care center. Let him know he's about to come up.
Hey.
Just once we get the all clear that mostly the temperature's down and he's good to go.
Alright, and I'm going to bring Mike up in the booth with us. James?
All right, Mike. Unfortunately, talking to you from the Infield Care Center, tell us about the race and just the bad luck you've been having.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenging car. The setup tonight's a little bit slick. It's hard to find a line. Tires are playing a big part. But unfortunately, I got caught up in something early on. Had to burn my fast repair, and then somebody got loose and couldn't hold their brakes apparently, and slid back up on the track and took me out right at the end there. So kind of a bummer, but it was fun. I had fun. Car was running good, so.
Definitely. It seems like with these things, you feel like you've got it saved up until the second that you don't. And again, man, sorry about you with the 22. Tell us about who you got on the car so we can at least get your sponsors out there.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to Blue Motorsports for giving us the opportunity on the team here, and SimSpec Designs and GTR for giving us a shot to run on the car.
Definitely. Well, appreciate you, Mike, and hopefully I'll be talking to you next week in a better position, sir.
Yeah, 10-4. Thank you.
That was Mike. I guess I should ask him how to say his last name.
We'll get him next time.
I do have some comments in there. JC says Chicano equals machine. I definitely agree with you there. Not very often you can take Daytona and then come back at Auto Club and have a good running, but another one who is also a machine, Alexander J. Kerfan, has gone back to front and front to back a couple different times, but able to be there in that 99 machine in the top row. But you know, we talk about them, but we don't talk about the guys who've been there the whole time. Cameron Caldwell, Chris Wheeler, and a couple other you got for us?
Yeah, we got Brock in third, which, I mean, Brock's had a rough night and pushing him back up into third. That's pretty big for him, considering that he's had a couple wrecks and back up into third with, you know, that front end caved in. It's showing that we need a little bit of aero, but it's also not a big thing out here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you can get, especially with these cautions, I think that's helping out a lot of these folks able to go, not really having to work on your long game, not really having to save any fuel. You just got to be going and moving here. As we have 17 laps to go, 16 when they get to the ride. Kerfan gun to lead them around. Chris Wheeler on the outside. As here we go, they hit the loud button side by side. Curfan getting going. Cameron Caldwell getting a good jump. The 97 Brock Salvati back there, not too bad on him. Oh, it's the leader's touch.
3 wide.
Ooh, big caution, big wreck. Everybody getting involved in that one. That was Curfan and I don't know who that was.
The 99, I think, as well.
All right, let's
The 1299.
take a look.
Oh yeah, that started with the 36 and 99 getting into each other. Now,
Not the 36. Not
38. My
38.
bad.
There we go.
38. My bad.
I was like, Hupka's had a bad night, but he's not been too bad there.
My 38. Sorry about that. My apologies.
No, you're definitely good. It seems like that started just on the green flag. I mean, from the get-go, Wheeler having some issues there. So we're going to go live. As Chris started on the outside, take a look, watch him and the 99. The Serenity Sun tanning. Ooh, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and Alexander Curfan has been having an absolutely fantastic race. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say that he may have came up expecting the 38 to be a little bit higher than he was.
Oh yeah, just gets right into him. And sends him straight up into that wall, hitting head on.
This is going to be a good view of the restart. We don't like to call people out here, folks. We don't know what's going on in the car, of course, but very unfortunate for the leaders there. Cameron. Oh, yeah, that's a damning view there as Alexander Curfan just unfortunately touching the 38.
Ooh, you just see that back end get up in the air.
And then Noah Owens getting involved. I believe he's going to put that thing on the hauler. Sometimes this happens, folks. It happens like this. Let's see if we can't get Noah Owens. Yep, Noah Owens is going to get that thing rolling. Got a faster pair in the back pocket.
Ooh, I did not see that coming.
Oh, I'm not sure. No, he did
Actually,
not.
no.
Sorry, folks. Sorry, that was got a little bit excited there. Noah Owens does not have a faster pair, but he is able to get that thing out there.
New race leader, Cameron Caldwell. And I believe the pace car lights are... Nope, they are still on. My bad.
Yeah, they turned them on as there was somebody having some issues, it looked like. Not sure what was going on there, but we're going to let him go one more time around. Good thing, too. We're going to hit you with one more ad break.
drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Well, oh, they're wrecking! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the left coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
All right, folks, back. We are going to be going green here. This time around, had to throw the caution to get them definitely squared away, make sure everybody was in the right spot. As we have 12 laps to go, Emily, coming down to what has been just a roller coaster of emotion.
Oh yeah, but I mean, really, from what I've seen, it's just been racing incidents, really. So nothing's. I mean, a couple of serious wrecks. But other than that, racing incidents, which that's what it comes down to here. It's just getting that back end out, and once that happens, you barely can get control of your car again.
Yeah, you know, the independent rear suspension, a lot of these guys, we talk about it, it's a much different save. We'll talk about it more after they get going here, but let's talk about Cameron Caldwell. Going to be leading them to the green flag with 11 laps to go in the 12 machine. He's been working his butt off to stay in the top 5. Now let's see if he can keep it as Brock Whitehead on the outside. Cameron gets a heck of a jump. See if he's going to come up and stop the momentum of the top line. Yes, he is. Farther back, the 31, Brock Whitehead and Brock Salvati touch. They're going to go 3 wide. 55, Dakota Knoll's going to come out on top of that on the bottom as they are fighting for position.
Yeah, I mean, a 10 to go now. I mean, it's just going to be interesting racing. It's going to be action-packed just to see how they all work out. Everybody's going to be pushing their car to the hardest.
Ooh!
Somebody gets loose there.
That was Joseph Madigan who just blinked right as he was coming up to Bright Whitehead. But Alexander Perfan back there in the 3. The 34, Joseph, he's a little bit sideways. Now he's a lot sideways. Gets on the apron, saves it. Able to come back in and save a top 10 spot. Brock Salvati trying to make his way in. Folks, this is absolutely ridiculous racing. Be sure and get these guys the recognition they reserve. Last chance, call out who you think is going to take this thing away. I would have had Alonso Chicano out of it, but he is not, folks. Back up into the top 5.
I mean, might be rude. I would say I'm rooting for a Ford driver, but it's going to be a long shot here, guys.
Yeah, most likely, as we got the top 7 Chevys. But, I mean, folks, let us know in the chat. We already got one going down. We've seen some ridiculous saves. We've seen some not so great saves. And these guys and gals have absolutely done it good. There we go, 31. As we're watching, these cars are loose.
Oh, yeah, I mean, especially this one going on those, somewhat old tires, they start getting looser and looser, and that's weird to say though, but at Auto Club, depending on what setup you're running, you can be loose or you can be extremely tight. And honestly, it's most likely better to be loose here so you can, stay loose instead of going straight up into the outside line with being tight.
Definitely, and we saw it in the commercial there. This is a multi-groove surface. No progressive banking, but just because of how wide it is, there's really no spot in the middle. There we go. Oh, no. Alonso Chicano getting a bit out of shape. Going to bring out our final, not our final caution. I'm not going to promise you anything. As Cameron Caldwell did not want to see that. As the caution was coming out, put down a 40.78.
I mean, that, from my opinion, that's the fastest time I've seen at this track so far. From any time I ran at that. So, he's putting bits out here and making it work. And that's what we like to see out here.
Yeah, I just let me get this up here at Esports Broadcasting Network. We have a we're actually NASCAR media accredited, so I can go through and look. I just want to see what the average running time is. So give me 1 minute, folks. Emily's gonna talk to you. Go ahead and walk us through. I'm gonna go ahead and put the replay up while you're doing that. But
ooh, looks like the 12 car was just starting to figure out people. Looks like we have Dakota Knoll going down pit road along with Chris Wheeler, Alonso, probably getting some damage fixed, and yeah. So they're probably gonna get tires. I mean, my opinion, I wouldn't go get tires, but it all depends on if you can keep those cold tires and get them warmed up, and those 3 laps will end up having to go on.
yeah, definitely. And I think Alonso, he's really got to be kicking himself after that one, as he is going to come down pit road. I don't know if he's going to try and get that thing back out on the track, as he is. Hubka come down as well. Wheeler.
And do you want to explain the green-white checker?
Yeah, I don't know if we'll get there. Let me see what we're on 6 laps to go right now, but if we do get to it, folks, if they come around, they have to do a green-white checkered. They're going to start with the green flag. All right, they're going to start the race. They're going to have 2 to go when that happens. They're going to come back around and take the white flag. If they get a caution before then, they're going to run it back, do it again. They might have some restrictions on that in this league, but they're at least going to do it once. You got to love the overtime. If they take that white flag, if they make it 1 lap in either of those options, the next flag's going to end it. If there is a caution, that's going to end it. They're going to freeze the field right there. That's going to be your winner, whoever was out in front. Or they're going to take it to the checkered, and that's going to be your old-fashioned winner, the first one across the line. So keep it around here, folks. I think with 6 to go, we'll probably get 1 to go here pretty quickly. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, we got 1 to go there. So they're going to be 4 to go when they come across the line. So get your bets in right now, folks, on who you got. Cameron Caldwell just has came into this car.
And I'm loving that car.
Yeah, and he's got Kerfan beat on best time by 4/10.
And can I say, there are 2 green-white checkers. So if this doesn't work out here, we'll be going into the first green-white checker. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if they can push out a green for, I think, 5 laps to go once we hit that line.
Yeah, definitely. So let's see here. I think I found what I was looking for on time.
It looks like we actually have a Ford driver in the top 5. So, hey, I said it wasn't going to happen. It might happen.
Yeah, it could definitely. Is you're looking at these times, you talk about they're running a little bit, almost just right up par there with NASCAR. So these guys doing well.
That shows you about that setup strap.
Yeah, do what?
That shows about how good McConer's setup strap is. It's running really close to real life NASCAR. And here we go, green with Cameron Beatty Mitts.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, 3 laps to go as we heard him opening it up, and we saw him 3 wide for the top 5 position. Eddie Morris trying to make it around on the top side, looking at 4 wide. If Dakota Knoll can hold everybody off on the bottom, he'd be all right. But Alonso Chicano trying to get his way back. Somebody's in the wall.
In that wall.
Yeah, Chris Wheeler, but look at Cameron Caldwell. He's got Kerfan on the rear bumper. Joseph Madigan as well, as we are trying to hold them off as we are cheering for Caldwell right now.
Actually, Alonso moved up to 7th place.
Yeah, keep an eye on your ticker up there. All these Chevys battling a route, but Joseph Madigan, the odd man out, looking at the Ford manufacturer.
Oh yeah, I mean, hey, Ford wins this. Nothing wrong with that, right, guys? But all jokes aside, seeing these guys come home, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, we might even see it 3 wide going across the finish line with 1 lap to go. So.
Yeah, definitely is. Here we go. Kerfan making his way on the inside. He's got the tires. He's got the oldest tires of the bunch. See if Cameron can hold him off as they take the white flag farther on. Alonso Chicano up to 6, but this is the battle we're going to stay on, folks. Caldwell, Madigan, Kerfan. Kerfan getting a little bit loose. He's going to back off of it. Madigan getting loose as well. It's going to be the battle of who can keep it straight.
Man, you can just see them chasing that draft. And Caldwell is just saying, no, I don't want to give it to you. And just throwing down that backstretch to break that so we can bring it home here and win it.
Oh, the 34 gets a little bit of a shakeup. Cameron can keep it straight. He's got it here. Cameron Caldwell leading him around, getting the checkered flag here at Auto Club. And then it's down to an inch. Joseph Madigan on Kerfan. Eddie Morris, Brock Salvati trying to make it across the line. Everybody else, wow, everybody finishing within 5 seconds of each other.
That was an amazing race. Ooh, I've ever seen one.
And what a finish. Alexander Kerfan, less than 1/10 of a second falling back there. So, ooh, let's take a look at that again from the white flag.
I believe that was at the line, too.
Cameron just able to be the only car of the group to keep it straight.
Oh, yeah, and Cameron's doing his victory donuts, too, so.
There you go. Burn it down, Cameron. You have earned it.
And can I mention, Alonso still didn't finish bad. Finished in the 6th position. So, hey, he might have got taken out of, probably finishing first. But getting 6th position isn't that bad.
No, all things considered, it's not. As guys, we got it. Caldwell will win. JC, he wins. He gets it. Marie Chicano knows how to bring it home. Top 5, not too bad. Shining, let's go Kerfan. Absolutely love to see that, folks. Love to see Cameron able to get his win there. So let's see if we can talk to him.
Who do you want to get in the booth first? James?
Let's go ahead. He's riding high. Let's go ahead and get with Alexander Kerfan. Alexander, it's James in the booth. You got me.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So 3rd place finish after last week, Daytona not really going your way. How important was it to come in here and get some good points?
Yeah, those stage points and at least maintaining a top 3 were really important. I feel like I could have came away with a win today if I didn't have the damage I had, but all things considering, I can be satisfied with today.
Definitely. Well, I know you finished 3rd. As you and Joseph were trying to chase down Cameron, we saw the wiggles get you, and it was all throughout the race. Tell me about the loose setup and just how fast it was, but how hard this beast was to ride.
Yeah, it was a very humbling experience today. It was very difficult setup to drive, very loose on entry, on exit, everywhere. Got slightly worse with that damage I had. Really, really trying to push it there in the last couple laps and nearly sending it over the edge and wrecking myself. But those are the kind of risks you need to take in the last couple laps, and almost was able to get a second, almost got first, but third will be okay for today.
Definitely. So, who you want to shout out? Who do you have on the car today that helped you get that third place?
Yeah, I'd like to thank all my friends and family who like to watch this. It's pretty cool. I'd like to thank Jeremy Richmond for letting me race on the team. He's an awesome team leader. I'd like to thank all my teammates. They're all great guys. Serenity Sun Tanning, Auto Ventures, Juniors Mobile Detailing, Caution Creative, Max Graphics for providing me with this awesome looking car to race. Yeah, great broadcast to you.
Well, we appreciate that, Alexander, and hopefully we'll talk to you again the same way next week.
Yeah, thank you.
You can just hear how much out of breath he was from, he's probably holding that breath for that last lap, don't you think, James?
Yeah, that's what it seems. So definitely a good run by him. Next, we have That Madigan Kid, which I believe this is Joseph Madigan, hopefully, right?
Yep.
There we go. Emily, I think you got the interview.
Yes, sir. All right. What do you, how were you out on that track? Honestly, myself, I was rooting for you. What was going through your mind from going, I think you're in 8th and went up to 2nd. How did that feel? What was going through your mind? Were you holding your breath that last lap?
Oh yeah, I don't think I took a breath the last two, 3 laps. These things are amazing to drive. Most fun I've had in a league race in forever. I felt like I had the fastest car. Especially the last 25 laps. My strategy played right where I had the freshest tires. I just needed one more lap to beat him, and I think I could have, and I easily could have won that race. I just didn't want to be, too dirty, and I didn't want to wreck him to win it. Tried getting under him arrow wise, moving him up the track, but didn't work. Almost lost second. But yeah, mindset, just dig and go hard. It was fun. You had to ring it around there. I couldn't really tell if bottom or top. I mean, seemed like the lane changed every lap, depending on where the other cars were around you. So led some laps, and it felt really fun to kind of have to drive a car again instead of having to worry about draft and dirty air. Um, so yeah, it's definitely fun, especially here at Auto Club.
Oh yeah, and I mean, did you race last week at Daytona?
No, I did. This is my debut.
Wow, so finishing 2nd for your first race in this league, hey, I mean, that shows some really good strength that you have out here, coming out here, put in those last couple laps. I mean, really, those last 5 laps is all that matters here.
Yeah, for sure. The first 95 laps were definitely about just keeping your car in pace, or keeping pace and keeping your car intact. It seemed like a lot of guys were struggling to do that. A lot of guys got caught up in accidents. I touched the wall a couple times, but nothing that really killed my car, and I still have my fast repair now. So definitely an endurance race for sure. Having this be half distance to the real thing, and it it definitely seemed like I was better at like keeping my car and handling wise. Got sideways a couple times, almost wrecked it like 3 or 4 times throughout the race, but hung on to it.
All right, and do you have any friends, family, sponsors you'd like to shout out today?
I just like to shout out to my teammates. I like also DJ, DJ Daniel. He got me into this league and wanted me to do it, and thanks to him, I'm here. So definitely him. Shout out to my parents, friends watching, Mad Dog Designs, and Madigan Motorsports. Everyone got me here today. And like to thank you guys for putting on a great broadcast, and like to thank the league for making this possible.
Oh yeah, and I mean, 2nd place finish, not too bad. All
I'll take
right,
them.
James.
Yeah, good luck, Joseph, and hopefully we talk to you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Next, we have the leader in Cameron Caldwell. Cameron, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
So we saw it. It seemed to be what made the difference was the rear view mirror. All the cars there got a little bit squirrely on that last lap. How hard was it to keep your composure and stay straight there in the last couple laps?
Well, it seemed like pretty much everyone behind me had some sort of damage, and I was clean. So I knew as long as I, just didn't spin it around, I would be fine. Madigan got pretty close towards the end, but I was just a little bit too far ahead for him to do anything. So it all worked out in the end. Pretty pleased with that.
Definitely came through. I mean, you talk about staying clean. There's a couple times there where up front, it's some very dicey situations, took out some pretty big contenders, but we saw you up there. Knowing that and knowing how everybody was racing, what was going through your head on that last restart?
Yeah, once again, I felt pretty good about it as long as I got a good start. Just going to have all the wrecked cars, and so I wasn't too worried about it. I was just worried about, as long as, or if they got run down the back on that initial first lap, then it might get interesting. But I was able to hold a good lead. I got out of 2 pretty good. So overall, it was a good restart on my end, and they just weren't able to get to me.
Definitely. So, taking home the win, getting locked in at the end of it. Who do you want to shout out, and how important is that heading into next week?
Yeah, it's pretty important. I'm not sure how much I'll be racing here. It just kind of depends on my schedule. But obviously, if I am able to race pretty often, then it'll work out pretty nice for me. In terms of sponsors and stuff, I want to shout out C2 Graphics, Independence News, Grid Network, Elite Performance Industries, ACR Digital, Welcome Massage Therapy, Left Coast Revivals. My parents and grandparents were watching, and all the fans were watching. And I may not be here next week, but hopefully all the fans are. So hope to see you guys next week.
Yeah, and what do you think about going into Richmond if you do race it next week? Do you have any plans, practice, or what are you going to be doing for that?
I'm not sure yet. I have a race restriction with this car, so I'm not really sure how it drives. So if I am racing, I'll definitely put in some practice. I'm typically a pretty good short track racer, so I'd be looking forward to it if I do race, but we'll just have to see.
All right, Cameron. Well, again, congratulations on the win here in the Wicked Sim Racing Series, and hopefully we can talk to you again next week.
Yep, thanks, guys.
So there you have it, Emily. A fantastic run, fantastic job by these drivers here. What are your short impressions of the race here?
Man, this race literally blown me away with how close they were, how they could keep those cars from just fully spinning out going there. It was great racing, wall to wall from start to finish. Great racing. And hopefully we can continue to see that going into Richmond.
Definitely. So, guys, we appreciate everybody who's watching the replay, who's watching it live. Be sure and hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. We're putting out race content generally every single day of the week. Go ahead and go over the results here. Cameron Caldwell comes in at the winner with the Radius Racing. Joseph Madigan in second. Alexander Kerfan barely by 1/10 of a second comes in third. Dakota Nolan fourth, Eddie Morris in fifth, Alonzo Chicano in sixth, but 2 stage wins under his belt, so not a bad points day for the JKR Motorsports driver. Brock Salvati, Chris Hubka, Steven Ayers, and Robert Derrick round out the top 10. And Noah Owens there in Blue Motorsports in the 88, coming in 11th. Brock Whitehead, very unfortunate for the Whitehead brothers there, unable to break the top 10 after being up there pretty much the whole race, but some way that's the way she goes. Chris Wheeler there in 13th, Jeremy Richmond in 14th, DJ Daniel 15th, Mike Sobanovisky, I believe that's how it's going, Charles Whitehead and Ryan Sizemore rounds it out, and then of course Aaron Brown unfortunately getting involved in lap 12 incident. He is going to be in 19th. So for us here at Esports Broadcasting Network, Sim Racing Media, my name is James Rawls, brought to you from the cameras, and our lead commentator, Emily Urias. Emily, great job. Appreciate you coming in with me. Hopefully we can get you back in here next week.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, if there's a open next week, I'd be glad to join this booth and have some fun with these drivers.
Definitely. So, folks, for us here at Esports Broadcasting Network, Sim Racing Media, we appreciate the heck out of you. And as always, we'll see you next week.